Index Law 2. The second index law is the law for indices with brackets. So let's have a look at the generic rule. If we have a to the power of m in brackets to the power of n, which means that everything in those brackets is to the power of n, that is the same as saying a to the power of m times n. So when we have indices with brackets, we just multiply the exponents. So let's have a look at an example to prove that it works. If we have 5 squared, all of that cubed, let's evaluate this to prove that it works. So let's start by doing it mathematically and actually evaluating the brackets. So if we have 5 squared cubed, that's the same as saying 5 squared, which is 25 cubed. And if we put that in the calculator, we know that that's 15,625. Now let's have a go using this law. So we have 5 squared cubed. We know that we multiply the exponents, and 2 times 3 is 6. 5 to the power of 6 is 15,625. So here we can see that this rule does work. Now let's have a look at some examples. So the instruction is to simplify the following. So we're going to write out the steps that we do. Okay, 6 to the power of 2, or 6 squared to the power of 3, is 6 to the power of 2 multiplied by 3, which is the same as 6 to the power of 6. Let's have a look at B. M to the power of 4 all to the power of 3 is m to the power of 4 times 3, and 4 times 3 is 12, so m to the power of 12. Right, let's have a look at C. Now C looks a little bit different because the outermost exponent is a half. That doesn't mean that we change our process. So we multiply our exponents. 6 multiplied by a half. 6 multiplied by a half is 6 over 2, or we could simplify that to be y to the power of 3. Alright, D also looks a little bit strange. We're still going to follow the same process that we usually would. Let's start with the innermost brackets and work our way out. So I'm going to leave my square brackets there, and I'm going to simplify what's inside. So x cubed in brackets to the power of -2, we multiply our exponents. 3 times -2 is -6. So x to the power of -6 inside the square brackets to the power of -4. Now we repeat that process. X to the power of -6 multiplied by -4. -6 times -4 is 24, so we have x to the power of 24. And finally, let's have a look at E. Now, when I first introduced this rule, I said that the exponent on the outside, which in the case of E is 2, applies to each of the terms inside. So I'm going to rewrite this bracket by expanding and putting this 2 into each term. So this 2 goes to the y, to the x, and to the 4. So that's the same as saying 4 squared, x squared, y squared. And because we're simplifying it, we can evaluate that 4 squared is 16, x squared, y squared. And that is the second index law.